I have a few things in the basket to cut open today. A couple of these came from friends. So this is from my friend on the East Coast, fellow rock hound. I'll tag in the comments. And this is one that I found, and I actually had started to tumble it. And as I was tumbling it, I noticed there were some really interesting characteristics. So I'm actually going to cut this one open and take a look inside. It may be nothing, but I want to find out. And if it's nothing, then I'll just have two really cool tumbled rocks. It's definitely some brecciated jasper. Is that a hard C or a soft C? Brecciated, brecciated? I've heard people say it both ways. But there's jasper in here. There's definitely some agate in here, some chalcedony. Although technically jasper is also chalcedony, but I'm going to take a look inside, see maybe this might be some quartz. So take a look. This is one that I've already cut open, but I threw these in the tumbler, and when I did, I noticed some really interesting stuff here on the outside. And so I have decided to slab this one. I'm going to cut this again and see if I see anything interesting over on this edge. That'll also give me a really nice clear slab to play with. So polish that up. Here's the other side. And so there are just some really interesting eyes that I noticed on this outside part that make me now want to cut it open. Over on this side. So take a look at that. And then I have this massive piece of jasper that I'm actually just going to slab. So we'll see how far I make it through these today. Okay, I think we should start with this jasper because this turned out way better than what I thought it was going to. So here's the outside, and you can kind of see the peaks of red and green jasper. So I slabbed it, and we'll take the end piece first. Oh, that's so pretty. There are some fractures in it on this end piece, but the color's so cool. I really like the reds and greens. And then here is the next piece. So we've got more of that red and green. And even a little eye. Aw. A couple of them actually. And here's this side. Just really pretty. And then here's the last piece. Look at that red. So this is going to be really pretty polished up. But there are some jasper slabs. Next up we have this really pretty jasper agate that came from fellow rock hound over on the East Coast. And check out the pattern here and the detail. This is on the outside. And he sent this over to me. He had asked to cut some of these open to see what they look like on the inside. And this one is a very thin stone. So I was really nervous about cutting it, and I didn't want to disrupt this pattern. See, even like the little quartz center, so pretty. This is a really cool stone. I believe it had already been tumbled. It appeared to have already been tumbled too, which makes sense because he tumbles rocks. So check out his channel. I will tag his YouTube channel in the comments. But this is the outside. So let's take a look at the inside. So I'm actually going to start with the back slab. Here's the first piece. So this is the back of the stone. You can even see like this little swirl here. So I was really hoping to pick some of that up. But look at all of this pink. This is gorgeous. And interestingly, the water in my saw today was all pink. So I think it came mostly from this and a couple of other stones I'm going to show you. So that's the inside. I was kind of bummed that there was this one fracture line. And let's take a look at the other. So again, here's this gorgeous pattern on the outside and the inside. Again, there's this fracture line, which is not really much I could do anything about, but you do kind of pick up the pattern on the inside. And it's not as much as I'd hoped, but it is still pretty cool. A lot of pink. So that is this piece. Oh, it's just so pretty on the outside. I really, really hope to pick that up. All right, let's take a look at this piece of brecciated jasper. I love these. This is one of my favorite stones to find in Puget Sound. You can find them. They're not super common, but you can find them on the beaches. Oh, so cool. So I had tumbled this one over the last week, and I couldn't decide for sure which way to cut it. But after I tumbled it, I thought, you know, I really want to see what's inside. So there were a couple of patterns that I thought were interesting on the outside, and I just kind of cut it right down the middle to see if I could catch it. So let's take one piece at a time. Here's the outside and the inside. Looks like quartz to me, folks. And here's the second piece. Outside, oh, so pretty. And inside. So just a lot of quartz. And you know, I still like this. I'm probably just going to toss it back in the tumbler and let it tumble out on the edges. A little bit concerned about these fracture lines, but science. Okay, so for this one also came from my fellow rockhound over on the East Coast. And you can see that there's some really cool stuff going on the outside. So I decided to cut it in half first, and check this out. Oh my gosh. Here, let's take a look at this side. So you can see, check out those eyes. Oh my gosh. It looks like a little galaxy. There's so many. Look at that pattern. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. What an incredible agate. And this was tumbled when he sent it over to me. So it was already pretty on the outside and had some little, looks like some little quartz crystals coming out of it and some eyes. So I could see why you might want to tumble it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That parallax banding. So this was already gorgeous on the outside, but check this out.
this is one of the coolest rocks that I've ever seen. One of the coolest agates I've ever seen for sure. And then here's the other side. So again, same thing, right? Look at all the eyes in this one. My gosh. I mean, that's so freaking cool. The more that I look at this, the more I like it. It's already such a really, really pretty agate on the outside. But I can see why he sent it to me to cut it open, because I would want to see what was in here too. So let's take a look inside of this side. So here's the inside. Look at the parallax bands, y'all. Oh my gosh. Now, as you can see, I did cut this again. And oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So this was already super cool, but I wanted to see if I could catch anything else. There's so much going on. I had a hard time deciding which way to cut it because there didn't seem to be any logical one way to do it. And it's such a thin stone, right? Like this was how it was before I cut it. It's very narrow. But I cut it in half again, and let's take a look at this side first. Oh my gosh, look at the yellow. Look at this. How freaking cool is that? I lost count of how many eyes are in this thing. It has a gazillion. This is truly more like a galaxy stone than my galaxy stones, but really it's just a really freaking cool agate. Oh my gosh. And check that out. Just the color and all of the eyes. This is wild. And all of this kind of plume, mossy goodness over here. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love this. And then here's the other piece, the other half. It's here. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that channel. It's like a little lightning strike or something. And more eyes. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna love polishing this one up. This is so cool. Thank you so much for sending this one over. This is really, really beautiful. Look at that. Very, very nice. All right, here we go. Last one. So this agate is super cool. I had already cut this one previously, and when I cut it, it was here. And so this was already a really, really beautiful agate. I mean, check this out. Are you kidding me? All those plumes, and it's just really, really pretty. And so this is one that I'd cut previously, and I had thrown it in the tumbler. And when I threw it in the tumbler, I saw some really cool stuff on the outside that made me think it might be cool to cut it again. Because as I was tumbling it, some of this started to tumble down and showed some eyes. Now, I haven't cut this one again yet. This is just the original half, and this has been tumbled for 1 week since I cut it in half. So this one, here's the other side of what I'd previously cut, and when I tumbled it, I started to see some of these patterns. And when I did, I thought, you know, it would be cool to cut this open and see if I can catch any of these patterns. And so I did. So let's see what we got. Here's the inside. Here, let's take it one at a time. So here's this side. And you can see, check out these plumes and banding, and look at these eyes. You can kind of see the eyes there. Really, really nice. Oh, check that out. It's so cool. So I just thought this one was really cool. I think that I probably messed it up a little bit by cutting it so narrowly at the tip of the stone. You can kind of see here. But I am not disappointed. And thanks, Jen, for giving me this agate. This has been a really, really cool one. And then let's take a look at the other side. So here is the other side. This is the one that had the pattern. And there you go. Check it out. You can see that it did catch that eye on the inside, which is pretty cool. So I'm pretty happy with the fact that I just took a look at this side too. It's really gorgeous. So that's where we ended up with this one. Some super nice slices of this agate.